Hi, I'm Alex Stoos, founder of Stoos Customs. My journey has taken me all around the world where I've met the most incredible people in the industry. I'm back in Cape Town, South Africa, where I've established the headquarters of Stoos Customs. My team and I customize, modify, and service these beautiful machines. And I just want to show you what it's all about. Welcome to Stoos Crafted Season 2. In this season, you're going to see some epic customization, modifications, and meet some very talented craftsmen on my road trip down the Garden Route and back via the iconic Route 62. In this episode, Chris tackles a Sportster that has seen better days. We peer into the vault and discuss the iconic Kawasaki Z 900R. I start with my first custom build for the year, a 2005 Harley Sportster, with a simple brief from the client: make it aggressive. We meet the incredible gifted wire artist, Tinashe, and attend the Cape Town Motor Show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. So from the last season, me and the Stoos team have been extremely busy. We've created the Vault, where we keep iconic premium motorcycles to make sure they are well maintained and ready to rock at all times. Every episode will feature a different iconic motorcycle in the Vault. In the Vault this week, we've got the iconic Maverick motorcycle, the Kawasaki Ninja Z 900R. This thing's an absolute beast for its time, and we are stoked to have it in the vault. The history of Kawasaki motorcycles dates back to 1954, when Kawasaki Heavy Industries Limited began producing motorcycles under the Mihatsu brand name. The company quickly gained a reputation for building high-performance bikes, and in 1960 it changed its name to Kawasaki Motorcycles Company. The first Kawasaki motorcycle to gain widespread attention in the United States was the 1969 Mach 3. A 500cc triple-cylinder two-stroke motorcycle that was capable of reaching speeds of up to 115 miles per hour. The bike quickly gained a reputation as the Widowmaker due to the high power-to-weight ratio and the challenging handling, but it also cemented Kawasaki's reputation as a builder of high-performance motorcycles. In 1984, the Kawasaki Z 900R was introduced, and it quickly became one of the most iconic motorcycles of the 1980s. The bike, which was the first production motorcycle to feature a 16-valve liquid-cooled engine, was the basis for the motorcycle featured in the movie Top Gun. In the film, actor Tom Cruise rode a modified Z 900R with a custom paint job, which helped to further cement the bike's status as an icon. The Kawasaki Z 900R remains a popular motorcycle among enthusiasts today and is considered a classic of the era. The combination of power, speed, and style made it perfect for the character of Maverick in Top Gun. And we are super stoked to have one in the vault. Alright, so the next build is a 2005 Sportster. I'm super pumped as the clients give us a super basic brief, just something aggressive. And at Stoos Customs, we're really good at making it brutal simplicity with aggression. First step we're gonna do in giving the aggressive look is drop it by 2 inches and put wider wheels. And then when it comes to tire choice, we've also chosen quite an aggressive tread pattern. So we're gonna black out all the chrome that was currently on the bike, and all the parts are gonna go black. Except for the tank, we're gonna do a dark battleship gray with black inserts. So these are the stock triple clamps. As you can see, they're quite narrow. So this is not going to work for the aggressive look that we're going for. We've had to upgrade them to these beefy, chunky, billeted triple clamps that are 20 mils wider and a lot more beefier. This is going to allow us to put the bigger wheel in that we need to. All right, here's the tank. We're going to spray the tank a dark gray. That was the only other request from the client. And then we're going to do this in a black as well to match the rest of the bike. All right, so we're going to go with the solo seat, but first what I have to do is manufacture the base plate that can hide the electronics so that this sits snug and tight on the frame. Super pumped about the first build for 2023. Now I need to get back and start fabricating. So this is our fiberglass template I use just to get a rough indication of the sizing of the seat pan cover. When you do scribe your mark, you get either 0.5, 1 mil or 1.5 off your template, depending on what you're trying to achieve. But when you do scribe something accurate, you got to mean it. One scribe, because otherwise, if you do double scribes, you then don't know which line to follow. But luckily for this scenario, there's going to be a lot of shaping and changing to this because I'm going to heat it up, bend it, so I'm not too stressed about the double lines. So that's what you call extremely rough cutout. Now I'm going to correct the shape. As you can see, the fiberglass template is a bit skew, so I'll bring that straight, then I'll do a rough cut and then clean it up. Take it to the frame and shape it because this still needs to be shaped up, and then the inside will have to be cut out because the ECM, the electronic box, sits underneath the seat. So we will cut it out and create a box that goes over it. So when you fit the seat pan, it will house the ECM nice and clean, and then the seat sits on top of it.
Okay guys, so here we've got a classic case of a bit of neglect. So this customer lived close to the sea, he also rode the bike and threw a cover over it without storing it correctly and spraying it with some oil, and went away for about 3 or 4 months, and a lot of rust crept in under the paint sets. So we're going to do a bit of a restoration, so brand new fuel pump, new battery, new paint sets, full service, and new brake lines on it because the brake lines are even rusted that they make hot or you go to squeeze the brake. Alright, as you can see here, the rust has crept right under the paint, gone right through to there. And obviously if you don't treat this, get it sorted, it's just going to go further and it just peel away. As you can see over here, it's already lifting. As you see, the fork is pretty badly corroded, and the stanchion is badly pitted, which has also picked up rust, which will then cut through the seal and cause all the fork oil to come out, which is obviously again a safety hazard. So these will be re-hard chromed, and these will get resprayed and coated and everything that needs to be, and look all pretty and function correctly.
Tinashe, thank you for having me in your house of creations. I can just see insane artwork everywhere I look.
Yeah man, thank you so much for coming as well.
So I've been admiring your bead art, and we were briefly discussing the hours that you put into each and individual piece of art you create. Can you just give us like how the journey started? How did you get from Zimbabwe to now South Africa creating these amazing works of art?
So the journey started in Zimbabwe, I would say, when I was 10 years old. Because what I'm doing now, it's quite a common art in Zimbabwe. Many people are doing it. So whenever I would come back from school, I would see people doing it, and that's how I just gravitated to this industry. But going forward, I was just like wanting to do it better, because one thing that I've realized that people who are able to make things, in many instances, are not able to deliver their products to the final person who end up consuming their product. So I just said, one day I'll have a gallery and have different artists bringing their art. But when I came to South Africa in 2018, I started my journey in Joburg. Right there in Joburg, we were just living in a flat. I'd say it was 6 of us guys living in that one flat. It was just 2 beds. It was just a smaller section that we were just living in. But we were making stuff for wholesaling. But that was not what I had intended to do, but it's part of my journey to what I've become now. So in 2019, that's when I came to Blydenburg Bay, and ever since I always wanted to just have a corner space where I can just showcase my work. Yeah.
That's amazing, and you've actually even taken it further. I mean, you actually have given the opportunity to other artists throughout Africa that you go and find and give them the opportunity for the world to see their art.
Yes.
I mean, you showed me that one piece of artwork you did that you spent 900 hours in. It was a cheetah.
Yeah, it was a leopard, yeah.
Leopard.
So I took 960 hours, which I spread over 3 months and 2 weeks. So there are other times when I work 4 hours straight or even up to 16 hours straight. So you see, with art, there are times when you just feel zoned in and you just want to continue and continue. So I just had to do one beat at a time to come up with the
You're saying it was 2 meters long from head to tail?
Yeah, it was 2.2 meters long from the snout to the tail tip, yes.
I mean, I quickly, with the photo of it on the wall, I quickly looked at it and I was like, oh, you're standing next to a leopard. And then I realized, oh, wow, it's actually...
That's the reaction I get from many people who comes into the shop. Many times they're like, are you turning a leopard now? But the more they look, then they realize, no, it's made out of wire and beads.
You focus on the beadwork and the metal work of shaping from animals to motorcycles. What other artists do you host?
So yes, when I started with doing beaded stuff. But as the idea is growing, I'm now having paintings. So I also have people who are bringing in their paintings. I mean, I've been meeting with wonderful different people. I'm dealing with people who use different mediums. Others use acrylics and also others use oils. And I also have steelworks. So people now are bringing sculptures that are made out of recyclable materials like drums, like anything that is recyclable.
I did see a rhino made out of old motorcycle parts, which I thought was freaking awesome.
It's amazing how these guys can just take anything that we think at some point it's useless, then they just put it into... Reuse it, yeah, upcycling it.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So every piece that we make, because it's handmade, they're always different from each other. I can make the same size, but they can always have different personalities in them.
Where your business is going and your creation, your little hub of creativity, where's the next step? I mean, you're already opening the world to so many artists. Where would you like to see your business go in the next 5 years?
I mean, it's called Paivepo, and Paivepo, it's a Shona word from Zimbabwe, but in English it just means there was. But this is the word that my grandmother used to tell us whenever she was telling us a story. She would start by saying Paivepo. So from those memories, that's how I just gave the name. But in English, it's more like you saying once upon a time.
Okay.
So this is me just telling different stories, and going forward, I just see an art gallery, people bringing their stuff, and just amazing stuff. Amazing energies, that's what I'm looking for.
That's amazing. I mean, your story is really inspiring because not only are you looking for yourself as an artist to grow, but you're giving an opportunity where someone might have not had that opportunity to grow in the circumstances or where they're from.
Yes.
And you've walked that already, and now you're reaching out. And now, out of all the wire work and bead work you've done, that was 960 hours for the leopard. Was that the most challenging piece you've done?
I'll tell you that the most challenging piece that I've done maybe could have only taken me 45 minutes.
I can relate to that.
Because for a bigger piece like the leopard, at some point, it's not really hard to do because it has, it's big in nature, so you have more area to just, work from side to side. But when you're making a smaller piece, for instance, even a little keyring, that makes it hard because now you have to focus on that little thing. You have also to bring the detailing in that little thing as well. So that makes it even harder.
Well, I'm definitely going to look at the keyring totally different.
You're going to respect the keyring from now.
100%. And I know you're preparing something for us today.
Yes, I'm so excited. I want to show you a motorcycle. So I've assembled some, I would say 3/4 part of it, but I want to show you how I'm able to make a wheel and do some mudguards, the rear mudguard and the front mudguard, and just
awesome.
Take you through the process.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, step one was cutting these off. Now I've got to shape these and clean it up so it looked like it was never there. So we've trimmed and shaped the struts now. We've got to finish taping it off so that we can paint it and then put the fender in where we can mark it so we can get it ready for trimming. We also need to see the clearance between the new wheel and the fender to make sure that all the clearances are sufficient. So we've installed new bearings on the triple clamps. We first had to pack the bearings with grease so that you get grease around all the roller bearings before you press it on so that you get a clean and free movement. So now we can get ready to install it. All right, so next step is we're going to assemble the front end on the Sporty. As we're going with the bigger wheel, we've now changed the triple clamp, which is now 20 mils wider. So we're going to have to make a new axle. So we're going to assemble the whole front end, get it all right with the wheel in and everything, and then just check to manufacture. Yes, realistically it's just another 20 mils, but yeah, there's a few other things we've got to change on the axle to accommodate the new wheel. So that'll be the next step. All right, so what we've done now, we've installed the new set of triple clamps, which is 20 mils wider, and we've installed the new front wheel. So you can see it's quite a lot bigger than standard. We're busy now doing the new axle. So we've got to machine a new one out of stainless steel, and then we can do the spacing to make sure it runs true, well, center with the triple clamps. As soon as we're done with the front axle, we can then install it so the bike is sitting on its own weight. I then am going to mock up the way I want to cut the rear fender. You want it sitting on its own weight so that it actually you can get the right shape and the angle of where you want to chop the fender. Otherwise, as you can see now, when it is on the jack, it gives you the wrong stance, so you can trim the fender in the wrong place. Once I remove it off the jack, the bike will then sit on its own weight. This will also give me a clear indication of its natural position, so when I shape and trim the fender, you've got awesome lines to follow.
So we got the tank back and the rest of the paint. It all looks very nice and neat and fresh. So this is the first step into getting this bike back into a good looking condition and looking all fresh. Alright, so as you can see, they look very smart. They've been sprayed inside and out. All the rust is gone. As you know, this is Owie. He's our detail specialist, and he's going to get down and dirty and get some elbow grease into this one. Owie, do your magic. Super.
Hey guys, so we're at the 2023 V&A Motor Show. A really good turnout. There's some awesome car builds, and we've got our bikes on display here that we've just finished. We've got the XX, our awesome R18. It's a really cool event, and there's some really cool classic cars. It was an awesome day at the V&A waterfront. and we're super excited for next year's one. Got some awesome builds on the go that we can display at the 2024 Motor Show.
Alrighty, so as you can see, we've got the sporty up back together. We've got the fresh paint set on. Looks a hell of a lot better already. Owen's also worked his magic on the spokes. As you can see, what Owen's managed to do on this bike is actually absolutely amazing, as you saw on the shocks how they looked. And then all the other little components and things, the fuel pump, new battery and everything is all in, so she starts up, fires and runs perfectly. We just found the rear LEDs to actually have failed, and we have sent them away to be repaired, and once they're back, that's the job done and sorted.
In the next episode, I embark on a journey that leads me down the garden route to Knysna, where I meet Colin to explore his remarkable collection of motorcycles at the Motorcycle Room. I finish up the 2005 Harley Sportster customization and head to Austin, Texas, where my passion project, the XX, is selected for the prestigious Handbuilt show.